I have been interviewing a lot of relationship experts over the last few years, and I recently ended the most amazing relationship of my life because he was so willing to do this work, do the 5-minute relationship repair and the Stan Tatkin stuff. And we grew together so much. And I got to the point where there were still some fears about he's significantly younger than me and not quite sure about where his life is headed, and it was triggering all these old fears from my childhood of not getting what I need. And so I ended the relationship, but in the month and a bit that we've been broken up, I've been really doing more work on myself, and what I'm starting to see, and I was sort of seeing it in the relationship, was that it doesn't matter how much money my partner has or how much attention he is able to give me or whether he's able to be home every night at the end of his day. If I don't feel safe in the world, he can't fix all of that for me. What are your thoughts about that?
You know, you're hitting upon one of the beliefs and the myths that we talk about in the book, that when I find love, it's going to redeem me from all of my past suffering. I'm never going to be lonely again. It's a preposterous idea that one human being is going to be able to handle all of that. And so to be aware that we can do a lot of soul making with a person and it may not last for a lifetime. Do you know, this man that you did so much work with, I think he's a soulmate.
Mm-hmm.
The people usually think about soulmates that it's the one and only, as if there's only one person in the world, and that it's going to be forever, and that's not necessarily the case. But we have people come into our life for a time, and you're a catalyst to his growth, and he's a catalyst to your growth. And it may be that he's in a different stage of life from you, and that you're not a good match just because of the different life stages. Or maybe you're just going through a really rough time and that you'll break through to another level of understanding, and it's too early to be able to tell right now. But when people are at those very precarious places where it's painful and confusing and you feel like you're sort of muddling around, I do think it's so helpful to get some guidance from somebody that you really trust, somebody who is in the graduating classes ahead of you that may be able to shed some light where there's so much darkness. And that sometimes people are shy and bashful, and sometimes they're arrogant and think they already know, and that they don't reach out to the clergy and to older, wiser relatives. Sometimes people are blessed to have a wise relative, or the professional community, to get some guidance when they're feeling at an impasse. It may be just the darkest hour before the dawn, as the saying goes, or just a place that's really clogged up, and there could be a breakthrough. And to be in Don't Know Mind, maybe there's some big life lessons in this for you right now, and for him too.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Linda. Charlie, did you have anything to add?
No, I'm mm-hmm. with what you just said. Yeah.
Thank you. Well, one of the things that I've learned in the time that we've been broken up, again, was this, there's nothing that is going to fill that hole. I mean, the relationship and the work that we've done has healed me a lot, but it wasn't him fixing me. It was the safety of our bond giving that space for me to take responsibility for myself.
That's a really important distinction, Ray, that you're making, because it's so easy to mistake the space that's available to you if you take responsibility for doing your work, and confuse that with, oh, that other person freed me, or they're the ones who made this happen. But no, nobody else can do it for you. And no matter how much they give you, ultimately, it's still up to you. Now, if they provided a safe, supportive, loving, accepting space, then it certainly makes it an awful lot easier for you to be vulnerable and to step in there and do your work than if you're always concerned about being judged or misunderstood, or feeling insecure. But ultimately, it's all our own work. We don't even like talking, using the phrase working on your relationship because it suggests that there's an entity there that is separate from us as individuals, and that's what we have to focus on. The work is really always about ourselves and about developing the qualities that will enhance our life and the relationship, identifying what those qualities are, and then looking at what the practices are that I can take on that can strengthen those qualities, like trust and support and honesty and integrity and vulnerability and courage. I mean, really looking at what is it that I want to strengthen that I know will make me a better person, because I know that that's what is going to feed the relationship, rather than looking at, what do we have to do to fix this relationship? We don't have to fix the relationship. We don't have to fix ourselves. We just have to get really clear about who we are and what our work is to honor the truth of who that person is, moment to moment.
I'm just loving this conversation. I feel my heart just so open